Keep it up in the info war, brother. Let's go to our next caller. Let's go to Steve in Michigan. Steve, you're on the line.
Hi, Jason. How you doing? How you doing this evening?
Good.
A couple quick comments. I'm putting articles and videos up on my Facebook. I'm not getting comments. I just started doing it today.
Well, sometimes I don't even get comments, man. I mean, I'll post things in the show, and maybe I'll get 1 or 2, and I got 5,000 friends. It usually doesn't discourage me. It goes into your friend's news feed, number one. Facebook is a great tool. It's not the only tool out there. YouTube is a great tool. It's not the only tool out there. And you really got to work to have a really good Facebook account, to have a really good YouTube account. You got to put more into it. So don't be discouraged if it's your first month or 2 on Facebook and you're out there, sending out flyers. Rome wasn't built in a day. Do you think that I got out here making films and doing talk radio overnight? No, it started out with me in 2002, before you could really even burn a DVD-R, because DVD-Rs were around $5 to $10. I was burning Alex Jones films in 2002 on CDRs in WMV format for people to watch things on a computer, being laughed at, being ridiculed. I was at the Thanksgiving table in 2003 with everybody with their jaw on the floor, couldn't believe what I was saying to them. It is only through great tenacity and the will to bring this information to all people, whether they be your friends, your families, your coworkers, or complete strangers, that you're ever going to make headway. And I was never guaranteed some kind of a movie deal because I did this. I was never guaranteed some kind of a radio show because I did this. I did this because I felt like it was the right thing to do. I felt in my heart that evil was encompassing not only the nation but the world, and I had to try to make a small difference if I could. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, I told you a couple of weeks back, I was in a eco-science class in my college, but I'm finished with that class. I haven't heard any response back from my instructor on the material I give her about the global warming scam. She hasn't gotten back on that one yet. But my current class is now American government.
Oh.
And I was wondering if you could... Yeah, I was wondering if you could give me a recommendation. I'm doing a 1,400-word paper on civil liberties.
Civil liberties. Well, you know what I would do? All right, I'll tell you what I would do. You want it, you got it. I would do a paper on how our civil liberties have been eroded since 9/11, but I'd only make that my opening paragraph, and I would focus on the court case and write this down because there's a lot of information about it. Hepting versus AT&T. And that makes me kind of want to play this clip, but I've got some more callers, so I'm going to let you find the clip on your own. If you type in Olbermann, AT&T, and just type in Olbermann AT&T and it will come up. And it basically reveals, what's it called? AT&T whistleblower. Okay, AT&T whistleblower Olbermann. It basically reveals that, in fact, all of our information on our cell phones and on our computers have been tracked, traced, and databased since 9/11. All the telecommunication companies have a separate room where the Ethernet wire is split and all the digital information is downloaded into a hard drive, and then it goes through Promise and Carnivore. Now, this went to court twice. It was thrown out twice. It was thrown out by the Supreme Court after an appeal based on national security. And only 2 months ago, Eric Holder, and you type this in, Eric Holder told them to shut down all the cases related to unwarranted wiretapping and surveillance due to national security concerns. So again, this happened during the Bush administration and probably before, but we can prove it to a T that it was happening before the Bush administration and into the Obama administration. So I would make that point on civil liberties, and I might even sneak in the point that if they're not tracking, tracing, and databasing everything we do prior to 9/11, how is it that 500,000 texts, emails, and pages were leaked? How is it that 500,000 texts, pages, and emails were leaked if they're not surveilling us from 9/11? And this just happened a month ago. It seems pretty impossible. It seems that there had to be a government database that had all that information. Or how would it leak out, Steve? So that is my suggestion to you. Do one on civil liberties. Do it on the AT&T whistleblower and how they are tracking, tracing, and databasing us daily. I thank you for the call, Steve. Let's go to Curtis in Illinois. Curtis, you're on the line. Yes, sir.
How you doing, Jason? Hopefully everyone is watching C-SPAN 2 tonight. Healthcare debate is currently on right now. Don't understand why at midnight, or 11 o'clock here in Illinois, they're going to decide, I think, to vote on this.
That's right. We've been taping it all day. We've been taping. In fact, a lot of people don't understand how hard I actually work here. In between segments, I'm going to check the break room to make sure there's a DVD in so we can tape as much debate has been going on. I've been here since 1 in the afternoon, and we've probably gotten 6 hours of the debate on tape. After this, I'm going to have to go throw in yet another tape. We're going to try to get all 12. Go ahead, Curtis.
Saw the clip online, We Are Change Chicago, talking to Rob Blagojevich. Maybe this could be the strike where we can impeach Obama if he, along with him violating the Logan Act, being president of the world at the UN a couple of months ago. But if
so Secretary General, yes,
him and Nazi Chief Rahm Emanuel do get called in a trial, this could be something huge where we could also try to impeach Obama. Do you think maybe you or Alex Jones could interview some constitutional lawyers that get something together as freedom fighters and try to impeach this man and expose him as a puppet for the New World Order at the same time we audit the Fed and get rid of these global bankers trying to take over the world?
Well, obviously that's the goal, Curtis. And, for us to do something like that, we'd have to have the constitutional lawyers really step up and go after Obama themselves. And then obviously we would cover that. We've had Phil Berg on the program. We know it's a hot button issue, whether or not the birth certificate is real. But there is so much more that this man has done to usurp the Constitution and Bill of Rights and us as United States citizens, that I hope that there are other constitutional lawyers that step up to the plate and try to go after this man, especially in the case with him taking head of the UN Security Council while he sat as president of the United States of America. A clear conflict of interest, a clear move towards global governance and corporate dominance over our lives. If you thought this guy was for real, how could he go to the Copenhagen Climate Summit knowing it was a fraud after the emails had been exposed? You notice you haven't heard anybody from the Obama administration, Obama in particular, even comment on these emails. Probably the biggest story of the past 5 years, and the man won't even comment on it. And what does he do? He goes overseas and he signs on to some pact that we don't even know about with nations we're not sure even signed with him. And then we get this headline out of the Washington Post, U.S. and China to lead the new world order. Final segment after this. It's the Info Warrior.